Hey everybody, it's Bill Evans with Awareness Technologies. I'm going to give it about one more minute and then we're going to get started here, just trying to let a couple more people come on. There was a good amount that signed up, so if you could just be patient, we'll get started in about 1 minute. Thank you. Alrighty, so thank you for being patient. So again, my name is Bill Evans. I am a product specialist with Awareness Technologies. I'm going to be walking through a few different things, and the point for today is really just to make sure that everybody is aware of some of the newer features and options that you have available in the software, whether you already have it or not. Just kind of see some of the things that it can do for you, and certainly if you do have it, maybe just be sure that you're getting the most value out of the licenses that you do have. So what I would suggest everybody does too, if you have any questions, there's a questions tab in the GoToWebinar interface. You can just type them in there, and then at the end of the presentation, I can go through them and answer any questions that you guys do have. So let's get started. I think today there was an itinerary as far as what we were going to cover. I think the first one was new mobile interface. I'll just read them in order. New mobile interface, continuous screenshots, user behavior reporting, alert word lists, and email notifications, benefits of deploying to all endpoints, and advanced file tracking. I'm actually going to start with continuous screenshots. We'll do new mobile interface last because it's at a different site. So, but everybody does have the ability to go to both the mobile interface, the mobile-friendly interface, where you can open it up on an iPhone or iPad or a cell phone, as well as your desktop. So let's start with continuous screenshots. This is a feature that would allow you to, so if you have full employee monitoring, you do have the ability to set up screenshots based off of program or website, so that whenever somebody opens a program or website, it's going to capture a screenshot, say every 5 seconds for a duration of time. You set both the interval and duration as well as the program or website. Those are smart camera screenshots. Now we're giving you the option of saying, hey, you know what, I don't even care what they're on. I want a screenshot to happen every 5 seconds no matter what. And that's what that continuous screenshots is. So under settings, recording and blocking, which is where you kind of choose all of your different things to be either turned on or turned off, the different features. I'm going to turn smart camera screenshots off for this group. I'm going to turn continuous camera screenshots on, and then all I have to do is just choose the interval. This is seconds, so 5 seconds up to a minute, up to 2 minutes, up to a total of 6 minutes. And what that will do is basically capture a screenshot of whatever is on that workstation at that time. So it doesn't matter if they're in a specific program or website, it's just going to capture everything. So it might be smart to set that up for, you know, maybe just one person that you really need to see. I need to see them doing their job from start to finish. That might be a good place to utilize that. So that's what continuous screenshots are. The next one, user behavior reporting. User behavior statistics are really kind of a newer space in the employee monitoring industry, and it's really just about better understanding how many times certain things are happening, so that you can understand the averages for your employees and then be able to quickly identify, hey, this person is an outlier, they're an anomaly, they are, you know, for example, say keystrokes. So I found out that the average for the office is 500 keystrokes a day, but I have one person that's only typing 50 the previous day. Why are they typing so few? You know, the average number of, say, websites visited is 20. Well, then why is this one person visiting 150 in one day? That might be a gross overestimate, but at the same time, if they are, maybe they're doing their job, maybe they're not. You would be the one that needs to dig in to better understand if this is a good thing or a bad thing. It's just allowing you to point out the people that are not in the same lines as your averages. So it'll basically be a list of all of the numbers of these things happening. So, you know, those are just a couple examples. Keystrokes, websites, you know, webmails is another one that might be useful. So number of webmails sent, so maybe the average for the office is 2, but there's one person sending 20. So why is somebody sending so many webmails? Are they reaching out to a recruiter? Are they reaching out to competition? Those are just, you know, some things that might be happening. And again, you do have to look into those details to better understand, you know, whether it's something that to be concerned about or not. Just want to be able to pull up an example of that. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see the report on my screen. But this is basically what it would look like. It's going to be a snapshot of the previous day. And it's going to show you all of your users, obviously just the ones you choose, but all of the users that you choose, and you can do everybody. The number of times they are, you know, partaking in this data point: email, sent and receive, webmails, IMs and chats, keystrokes. There's a lot. The number of times it's happening, the average for the office, and then obviously you can very quickly say, well, this person's twice the average for emails. Maybe I want to look into what John's doing. It's twice the amount of sent and received emails. He's sent twice as many webmails. He's involved in almost 4 times as many chats. He's doing more than the average of keystrokes. But maybe for keystrokes, it's more alarming that Alyssa is only half the average of keystrokes. So, you know, again, just some things that are being able to, it's using the software to kind of draw out these behaviors and kind of the typical daily routine of your employees, which is important to be able to understand, hey, you know, is there something going on here that I need to know about? So to build that report, dashboard, reports, you're going to add a report. It's a custom report. And you can see here, where is it? There we go, daily user behavior report. So this is going to be the one you choose, the 5th option. We're going to name the report Daily User Behavior Report. Choose which categories you want to cover. How many people visited blocked websites? How many visited websites per day? Did anyone visit an adult website? How many webmails were sent? How many webmails with an attachment? Was there any off-hours logons? Now the logon events, as well as the attachments for webmail and USB, kind of the file tracking piece, that's for Sonar Enterprise only. So that is an add-on to the employee monitoring license. It's not an expensive add-on, but it does give you some visibility into whether files have been added to the USB drive, to online Dropbox. Are they manipulating files somewhere on the computer that you've specified? It's not stopping it from happening, but it's telling you that it did happen. And in terms of data security, that can be a huge, you know, value, I'd say, as far as seeing what people are touching things if they maybe shouldn't be. But anyway, you choose if any of these things happened. Keystrokes, print documents, you know, whatever you need, and then it could be covered, could be covering everybody, one group of people, or just one person if you wanted to. It's a daily report. It's built as an Excel spreadsheet. You add your email address here. You can have multiple recipients of the reports. Then you finish it, and it's going to show up as a scheduled report. And that will come to you basically in the middle of the night, so the next morning it'll be there waiting for you, covering the day before. And I think that the value of the software is when it's running in the background, doing its job, and grabbing information and then presenting it to you in a number of different kind of reports or notifications, so that you don't even have to log in to really get an idea of what's happening. You can just open up these reports from time to time, scan through them. Hey, is there anything concerning here? If there is, well then let's log in and dig into the details and figure out what's going on. Is there something concerning? Or if it's all business as usual, then no worries, it's good to go. But I think the more time you don't have to spend going through the weeds, I think the better, to be honest. So yeah, so that's user behavior reporting. Alert word lists are pretty straightforward. Basically, it's a list of words that you're building that you want to know whenever somebody types one of those words or sees one of those words on the screen. To add the words or build the word list, it's under Settings, Alert Words. And basically, you're going to first build a category of a word. So you're going to add a category, you're going to type it in, it'll then appear here. You then click on the category, and you add specific words to that category. These are just some examples. Again, this is an example account here, test drive account, but this is just some examples of categories that might be valuable to you. Just know that we have a couple CSV files that you can upload. If you have your own preset list of words that you've already built or you want to build, you can upload them right into the category. So you just do the category, you add, instead of adding the word, you can actually upload a file. And you're going to choose a file, and you can basically pull it right up from your computer, off my computer. So I have a few pre-built lists that are pretty popular, and I'm more than happy to send them to you if you want me to. The most popular ones that we send out are the bad words or swear words list, and then also the job search list. So if somebody types in recruiter, resume, contract, salary, Indeed.com, Monster.com, LinkedIn, whatever it might be. If you want to know if they're searching for work while searching for a different job while being paid for your job, which is certainly important, this is a great type of list to build. Because anytime they type one of those words, or even if it just appears on the screen, you can get notified of it. So that's how you build the list to get notified. It's the same place, Settings, and then down to Notifications. And you're going to add a new notification, and there are a couple different ones here. Website category, of course, user behavior frequency, so you can even get notified when certain numbers of things happen. So if somebody sends more than, say, 5 webmails in a day, it can let you know, but it's going to be a daily snapshot. It's not an immediate notification. It's a kind of a snapshot of the day before, because it needs to tally up all of those things. But getting back to alert word category, which is what we were just talking about, so let's call this job search alert violation. Then we would choose our category called job search. If it was a real account and we just built it, it would show up here. You choose how often do you want to receive it. This one I want to know the second it happens, so I'm going to do immediate. This one I want to be covered for everybody. Again, you can do just a group of people. You can do just one person or a couple people. We're going to do everybody for this one. Add your email address. I'm in trouble typing here. Okay, and then again, multiple recipients if you want, or maybe you do, just the manager of a specific group of people. You set it up just for that group, and then you have just the manager of that group receive that notification. That could be very valuable information, and that strategy of sending it just to the people that are relevant it's not limited just to notifications. You can build all of the reporting that way too. So maybe have them be aware of all of the websites those people are visiting, how much idle time throughout the day is happening, what are the alert words that are being typed, what are the programs being used and for how long, stuff like that. So in general, I think the value is getting this information out to the managers or to you guys, in your hands, so that you can see what's going on, where are people spending time, what's a concern if there is one, the software is giving you obviously a lot of data, and it's just a matter of getting that into your hands so that you can take action if necessary. So yeah, so that's alert word lists and email notifications. Benefits of deploying to all endpoints. We do have in the homepage a return on investment calculator. So I'll give you just a quick idea of how this waste is calculated. This is for a relatively large company, medium-sized company with 100 employees. The way that that's calculated is, and this is relatively conservative to be honest with you, but if you think about it, if you pay somebody, say, $50,000 a year, that means they are being paid the equivalent of $25 per hour. That's how the math works if they're working 2,000 hours per year. So $25 an hour. If they're wasting 1 hour a day on that computer, which is probably a conservative guess, but even if they were only wasting a half hour per day, and you're able to reduce that half hour by taking it away, by seeing what's going on and addressing it where necessary. And let's be honest, people are probably wasting far more than an hour on a computer unless you're watching them do their entire job. So if they're wasting, say, a half hour, that means in a given week, you're saving 2.5 hours of time wasting. That means in 2 weeks, you're saving 5 hours worth of time wasting. So if you were paying them $25 an hour, that's $125. It's already saving you more than the cost of the license in 2 weeks. And you have that license for an entire year, 52 weeks. So, that's basically a 25-to-1 return. Or in reality, I'd say if you can even just reduce an hour of time wasting a day, which I think is, as soon as people are aware that you're watching websites that they're going to and emails and making sure they're not wasting time and reaching out to the wrong people, people's behavior changes drastically. So I would actually guess that you're actually saving well more than an hour per day once you have visibility into these things, which otherwise you would just never know. So if you can reduce an hour a day for 5 days, that's 1 week, that's a 52-to-1 return. So that's where these numbers are coming from. And obviously, the reason I'm bringing this up is because the benefits of deploying to all endpoints is that the software doesn't just help you for employees that are trouble employees that you're concerned about, that you want to look into, make sure they aren't doing certain things, data security, productivity. It helps with all employees. And so if you can get a return like that, even on your best employees who are probably still wasting some element of time, it's going to come back to you. So that is the benefit right there. And again, there's no other way to get this kind of information. You can't watch everybody do their job 24 hours a day. There's just no way to see everything that they do. You're not in the office all the time. You might have multiple offices or branches. That's what the software is for. Advanced file tracking. So file tracking is part of the enterprise package that I was mentioning before. It's an add-on to a Sonar employee monitoring license. It's not an expensive add-on. It's 10% of the license cost. So if you have 10 employee monitoring licenses at about $100 a piece, it would be $10 per license to add on that enterprise piece. What that gives you is under this recorded data file tracking piece. This is all the enterprise features. Oh, didn't want to go there, but you can see here that it gives you visibility into whether a file was added to the USB drive, were there any webmails that went out with an attachment. You get visibility into any printed documents. You'll actually see a screenshot. You'll see a full history of logon events. You will see any files added to online Dropbox. You also see if anybody downloaded a file, as well as any documents that were one of 4 things: added, deleted, renamed, or modified. So it's not just copied. That's not what this is telling you. It's more if they've been changed in some way, and you tell it where to watch. So, hey, I want to see on the C drives / my documents / client list. I want to know if somebody comes in here and adjusts this file. I want to know if somebody goes into this network file path and touches and changes one of these drives, or adds a file, or deletes a file. Yes, you can add network file paths as well. That's what the file tracking does. It's not stopping it from happening. It is telling you that it did happen. If somebody adds a file to USB drive, that's pretty critical to know if that's not something they're normally supposed to do. So the USB drive will happen automatically. Print screenshots, log on event, all of these will happen automatically except for the document feeds or the watching on somebody's computer slash network file path. You have to add a file path for that specific thing, or else it would just list every file that's ever going to be added or deleted or renamed or modified, which is just way too many files, and then it loses its purpose, I would say. But to add that file path, it's under settings, same place we had all of our settings, recording and blocking. And then you can see under record file tracking, there is a settings button where you'd add a file path, or folder path, I should say. So yeah, so that's basically how you would do that. The last piece is a new mobile interface. The point of us building this out was so that you could get this data on the move as well, on your cell phone. As we all know, iOS devices, iPhones and iPads don't use Flash, so we've created a mobile-friendly interface that doesn't work off of Flash, and so you can open this up on your iPhone or on your iPad, see kind of where are people going, where are they spending time. At this point, because it's still relatively new, it doesn't have all of the functionality that the desktop site does. The desktop site still has much more in terms of feature-rich and settings and being able to configure things. That being said, it will eventually all be available on the mobile site as well. This will eventually be the kind of one-stop shop for everything you need to do. But we're still building it out, so it's nice to have both in the meantime. If you just need to quickly look at data on the go, then the mobile site might be great for you. It's at login.interguardsoftware.com. Use your same credentials to get in. And this is what it looks like. It's basically going to list all of your active devices. You can click on the device, and it's going to give you all of the different data points. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Obviously, if there was data, I don't think there's going to be any data in most of these. I'm not sure what this is defaulting to. It might be our test drive account, which isn't yet uploaded in there. But basically, as there's new data in any of these categories, a little red circle with a number would appear over this category, data category. So if 3 new visits to Facebook happened, a little 3 with a red circle, as we all know what the apps look like when they have a notification. That's what it would look like here too. So you can quickly hop in and say, hey, is there anything new? Yes, there's some new emails, new websites, new programs that were used, new keystrokes. You click on it, review the data, etc. So. And then these are the features just for Sonar Enterprise. And if anybody's interested in Enterprise and they don't have it and they have employee monitoring or Sonar, you can certainly reach out to me. I'd be happy to tell you about what the pricing would look like. You don't have to do it for all of your computers. You can even just do it for one or some. But again, it's not an expensive add-on, and I think it does add a lot of value in terms of what it's giving you. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Those are just, again, it's not the whole software. It's more just about some new things that you might not be utilizing. Always trying to give you guys more value for the licenses that you do have, and provide that to you. If you guys do have questions, you can certainly reach out to me. I see there are a couple questions here, so I'll answer them in a second. But with any specific questions about your account, you can reach out to me directly. Again, my name is Bill Evans. My direct number is 203-307-2941, or you can email me at b for my first name Bill, and then my last name Evans, E-V-A-N-S, at awareness-tech.com. If you want those alert word lists, I can certainly send you those CSV files very easily. But yeah, so somebody asked here, how do you whitelist sites? So yeah, if you have the blocking option in your account, you can very easily, this would be something you do on the desktop site, under settings, recording and blocking, which is this, block websites, go to settings first, turn it on, then click on the settings, and then you're either going to add a specific URL to block, but to whitelist, as you said, instead of blocking, we're going to go to allowed websites and choose this third option, which is block everything except for the following websites. And you can either list a couple, add them, or upload an entire whitelist if you already have one built. Somebody else asked, how do you upload or how do you keep track of screenshots? So there's always going to be, if you click on our homepage, it should give you an inventory at all times. This one actually doesn't, but if this was an active account, it would show you number of screenshots purchased and then number of screenshots remaining. You can set screenshots to be recurring when they run out in packets of 10,000. A packet of 10,000 screenshots is only $17, so again, not expensive. But using that continuous screenshot piece will certainly use screenshots at a relatively rapid pace if you're doing an interval of 5 seconds. So just be aware of that. Obviously, if you have many people and you're doing all continuous and you're running them at just 5 seconds interval, it's gonna, it's gonna run through 12 per user per minute. So that can add up to a lot in not too long if you keep that, and they all work 8-hour days at least. So anyway, just something to be aware of. So somebody asked, what is the best way to monitor files that are considered confidential? So yeah, I think a couple things. One would be, what would they be doing with the file? And if they're going to that file, say in Excel, say it's an Excel spreadsheet, well, I'd probably want to set up smart camera screenshots for Excel so that whenever they open Excel, I can be aware if they open that Excel spreadsheet. If they ever open that file, then Excel is automatically going to open and you'll automatically start to take screenshots. So I'd say whenever Excel opens, I want screenshots every 5 seconds for an unlimited amount of time. That's how I would solve that. The other way is if you want to know if they're going to a confidential file to, say, manipulate it or change it or delete it, I would specify wherever that file sits. At first have employee monitoring, I'd add enterprise, and then I would specify the folder path for wherever that file sits so that if they were to go into that folder and adjust or manipulate that file in some way, I would know about it. I'd be notified about it. If they added that file to USB and I have enterprise, I will know about it. If they send it through webmail to themselves, you'll be able to see it. So yeah, so that's probably what I would recommend for that. That piece. Somebody asked, how can you offer this service to a customer as part of your business services? So yes, we do have a reseller program. The interface that you ask for customers, you asked, is there an interface that you can create for the customer? So what it would be is once you get signed up as a partner or a reseller of our software, you would basically have your own sales manager account, but you would create an account, and the account would be what we're looking at together right now. This interface would be the customer's view. And then you as the reseller would have a separate account that you'd be able to log in to place those orders at a discounted price. So to hear more about that, I manage that program myself. So if you want to know more about that, please reach out to me afterwards, and I can tell you about what it looks like and tell you about how you would go about getting signed up for that if you are an IT services provider. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything else. So yeah, so I think that is all of the questions. So I hope you guys got some value out of today. Again, if you need help with any of these new features or newer parts of the software, then certainly reach out to me directly. I'm happy to help you out or get you in touch with the person that manages your account so that you guys are getting the most out of what you have. If you need any help with tech support or you're having a technical issue, feel free to reach out to me directly as well. I can put you in touch with our support team and we'll get you guys up and running if necessary. But yeah, hopefully you guys got value out of it. Thank you very much for taking the time to walk through it, and hope to talk to you guys all soon. Thanks so much.